Welcome to another edition of Real Talk. It's another great week. I've been telling people for the last few weeks this is going to be, I've been looking forward to this interview.
Right on.
So let me introduce the man on my left, Mr. Cameron James. I'm going to let you introduce yourself in a minute, and this is
Yeah.
for people that are not familiar with you.
For sure.
Right? So, and then we're going to get into your background, where you're from, and even the title Soul Food and all of that, right?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
but before we do that, I like to talk about things that's going on in the city and things that have happened this weekend. I got to send a big shout out to the Peebo Awards. We had a chance to be a part of it. Once again, big shouts to Mr. Hopton James and the whole team. It was a great event. Also, this weekend was the Black Excellence Gala. Big shout to Pastor Thomas and her team. I heard it was a great event. So, I want to get those through real quick. This is going to be one of my quickest openings because I want to get to the subject matter. And like I said, here we are with Cameron James. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm
For
good.
Sure, for
We talked a little bit about you and getting through to those interviews and this podcast stuff. How's it been?
It's been good. It's a bit overwhelming for me because it's a little bit new to me. And growing up, like I never really talked much, so just trying to get in that space to where I'm like comfortable talking, especially in front of camera, and it's new. It's been nerve-wracking, but it's also been exciting for sure because I'm been doing them back to back, so it kind of give me that more experience for sure.
And you know what? Most people would think that you as a hip hop artist that you
Yeah.
used to being in front of the mic, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know what? I was taken back a minute when you said, I got to get used to this because I
Yeah.
just thought it comes with the territory, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So you're just good when you're with a mic in front of your hand.
Yeah, when
in
I'm
front
on
of-
stage, it's different. Like everything, all that nervousness just goes out the window. But yeah, just the one-on-one, talking, podcast in front of the camera, lights on. It's a little bit different from when the lights on and you're on stage and that's all you think about is just the music.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, you know what? I want you to think about the music, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're going to talk so much about it, right?
sure.
But before we get to the music,
Yeah.
I want to get into your background, where you're from. And like I said, this is for the people that don't know you, right?
And there's a lot that don't know me. So
Right. So we want to get to them.
Yeah.
We want that Real Talk audience to get to know you. We've been trying to do a few of the artists in the last little bit. So I got to send a big shout to Trizzy that started it all.
Yeah, nice.
Right. And of course, the First Lady herself,
Yep.
Tiffany, right?
Yeah,
Much
yeah.
love to Tiffany.
Yeah, shout out Tiffany.
Right. And now, where you from, first of all?
Yeah. So I'm from California, Northern California, the Bay Area specifically. So for people who still don't know, that's like San Francisco, Oakland area. But yeah, just I lived in the Bay Area my whole life, so that's where I'm from.
And I'm going to touch on what brought you to London. But before we even
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to
yeah.
that, right? Tell me about your influences growing up.
Yeah, my influence, man, I say it definitely had to start with my dad. My dad was in a band at a very young age. He plays the guitar, plays the drums. But, when I was young, he had a studio. So, music was just like the first thing I heard. It's my first memory, just waking up and hearing music blasting from the studio. That's just like, so he's like one of my big influences. But outside of my dad, like on a personal level, as far as influences, I mean, it's a wide range, to be honest. As far as like genres, hip hop, R&B is one of my favorite. I had older brother and older sister who grew up, listening to punk rock. My sister went through an emo phase, and so I got, just different genres like that. But my dad, his main thing was R&B and funk. So I got a
And
big,
that's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
was about to say.
So
Because
big
when you
funk
come,
influence, for
right,
sure.
right.
Funkadelic and just a whole bunch of wide range of just funk in general. And then I grew up with people like Isley Brothers, Erykah Badu, Music Soul Child, and just like, just real soulful music, neo soul, and just
Hold on. You just touched on one of my favorites, which is Music Soul Child.
Yeah,
right?
Music Soul Child.
Oh
That's one of my
man,
favorites, too.
and it's just funny because like 2 days ago, I was actually going through some of his videos from Love Don't
Yeah.
Change and all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? So, that Bay Area is all the old school guys from out of
Yeah.
California. You
Like
got
Too
your-
Short,
Too
E40.
Short, E40,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
even going back to Tupac and the Outlaws and
Yep,
the
yep,
Dog Pound with
for sure.
Snoop and all that stuff. Did you ever get into their?
Yeah, it was much later. I want to say probably like 5, 6 years old, for sure. Tupac was probably like one of my first. That's like my all-time favorite. Maybe I'm just being biased because I'm from the West Coast, but and that's just what we listen to. But now just deeper than that, just what he stood for outside of music. Before he got into the end of his life. Just what he stood for. But other than that, yeah, definitely a lot of artists. DMX was another one, just what he spoke about, his delivery on music. Outkast was not another great artist who have a big influence on me too. Just a lot of soulful lyrics, meaningful lyrics, them being so outside the box. Um, yeah, and just wide range of artists just like that, like Eminem, Lil Wayne was also someone that I grew up listening to. So yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. So now, what made you move to Canada?
yeah. So I had my baby on the way,
Okay.
and my wife, she's from here, so I had to make that move and to come over here, up
Wait.
here, and
So how does a kid from California end up with a wife
yeah,
in
yeah,
London?
yeah. Just the internet. The internet got a funny way of connecting you from wherever you are. So that was just pretty much how it happened. It's just long distance thing and visits back and forth, and then that time where she gets pregnant and it takes a decision of like handling responsibilities as a man, and then making sure that you take care of your child. So the only option for me was really just to come up here and make sure that I stand 10 toes down with that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
knew that, right? Because I remember running into you, I think before you actually knew who I was, and this
Yeah.
was at Lost Love. Not
Okay.
even Lost Love. Was it
Was it?
Lost
I
Love?
think it was King's.
King
The Ziegel House.
Ziegel House.
Uh huh.
But I say Lost Love, but it's not Lost Love anymore. It is, I forget what it is. Right across from Moxie's.
I can't remember. So it's been so long ago.
It was,
That was a while back.
yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of a while
this is
back.
like
Yeah.
2, 3 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And I knew you were a serious dude
yeah.
because for an artist, right? I always see you roll with your girl, and it was just like that. And I knew you were 10 toes. I also knew you were from California. I knew you
Yeah.
boxed a little bit because I
Yeah.
watched some of your boxing
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you gotta take us through all that too.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
Your forays into being a healthy person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that the lifestyle you're trying to live, or?
Yeah, that's just something I recently got into within the last couple years. Just, just staying focused and fit with just my mind and my physical and spirit and my spiritual, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just recently got into that, that focus of just making sure I better myself. I've always loved boxing. I had a heart for it. I never really took it serious, but when I was younger, I also just got into a lot of fights with my older brothers, and we just rumble around the town as well. So fighting has just always been something that I liked and I enjoyed. I do it now for boxing, for as like staying fit and just being active. And when it comes to me just being with my family, that's just everything I just stand for. Like, just family is like someone that I just really is like something that I really put forward into my music. It's my brand, and just family is everything. So when you see me, you probably just see me either just solo or with some people who are family.
Yeah, everybody's just your inner circle.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Differences between, and I know there's a lot, but I just want you to talk
Yeah.
about it. Differences between London and California and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
I wouldn't just put it as London, because I moved around a lot in the Bay Area, so there's so many cities I could compare. But I just would like to compare like California from Canada as whole, at least like Ontario.
yeah.
Yeah, it's different like culture wise. Like, it's a big melting pot here, which I love. You know what I'm saying? You have so many immigrants coming from different countries, and it's just the culture is just, you have different cultures from everywhere. California is not so big on like so many diverse cultures, I should say. So yeah, first thing was just like the cultural thing. I just love how there's so many of everybody here. You know what I'm saying? There's so many cultures you can learn from and meet. And yeah, of course the weather's different. It
That's
snows
big.
here. When it gets cold, it gets colder here. So, and then the mountains. There's no mountains. I do miss the mountains back home. And other than that, though, like I've been here since 2018, so you know, it's like I opened a new chapter when I moved here. So like, this is my life now. You know what I mean? So it's like it's cool to think about the past and like the people who you know back home and stuff. But um, ever since I moved out here, it's like I opened a new chapter, new in my book, and this is my home now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you start being an artist?
Yeah, so I think I had an interest of being an artist for like when I was 6 years old, real young, just playing in the studio with my dad. His, you know, he had a studio set up, just playing on the mic and you know messing around with equipment. But I actually took it serious at 11 years old. My dad was like managing me at the time, and I got my experience just basically performing for YMCA's, Boys and Girls Club, charity events. And yeah, so 11 years old is like when I started going in the studio recording and then also just performing. Yeah.
First record there. First performance. First
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, give me the first of everything,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah.
first.
So
Yep.
11 years old, I definitely was doing it for a nonprofit organization back home in the Bay Area. And we would just go around just, you know, Thanksgiving, turkey giveaways, Christmas presents giveaways, and, you know, just doing performances for Boys and Girls Club, you know, the feeding the children and stuff like that. And that's just kind of how I got my start with the performance. And then, you know, the making music was just like something I just build up through the years from like 6 to 11. Just like I said, playing in the studio with my dad and him pressing record and just slowly showing me how a format of a song is created. And yeah, my first song I just recorded was I would say it was called Lunch Money.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, called Lunch Money. And I really don't remember lyrics too much because it was just so long ago. But yeah, that's just like when my creativity started and where like, you know, the blueprint came from.
Okay. So you come to Canada, right?
Yep.
What changed in your music? Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have your influences obviously from California,
Yes, sir.
and now you're in Canada, and it's a
Yep.
whole different.
Mm-hmm.
What changed? Or and even get to even to define it a little bit
Yeah.
more. Tell me your first the first song you did in Canada,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you wrote and everything,
Yeah.
right? And then compare it to something that you wrote
Yeah.
in California. Tell
Yeah,
me if anything
yeah,
changed.
for sure. For me, I think it was just a mindset thing, and also just growth mentally. You know what I'm saying? I just as I got older, you know, certain things that you know I look at as childish or didn't serve any real a greater purpose in my life. Um, I just didn't want to rap about it anymore. You know, maybe glorifying certain things that you know that's that don't sit right with my spirit.
And you
So
can say, because this is real talk.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so
yeah,
let me
yeah.
hear.
Like it was just, you know, just talking about like, you know, just glorifying, I guess, like, you know, just doing things in my past that I've done, you know, instead of just saying like, no, this is what I did and let's make a change. It was more like glorifying it. And
Okay.
you know, just being some songs are just a bad example. So like when I say the growth of like me just getting older and more mature, it's just like those things didn't sit right with my spirit. I know that I'm only getting older, so it's like I wanted to talk about. I could still talk about what I did in my past, my troubled past, but like there's a better outcome. You could still change your mindset. You could still change your ways. Every day you wake up, you know you have a chance to change it. So just like my mindset just changed, and that just transitioned over to my music. Like I just wanted to talk more about mature things. I wanted to make sure that the music that I put forward, that it just meant something. You know what I mean? Like it just has substance, and this wasn't just getting on the mic and just saying anything. So that's pretty much. I can't really recall from like this song, from now, song in the past till now, what changed or how it was. It was just like just growth throughout the years.
Yeah, sometimes with growth, sometimes there are things that you just don't want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
too, and that's all right because
Yeah.
you don't want it to take you back to that time,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
First album in London,
Yeah,
or was
yeah.
what you?
That's
Like you
my
said,
first album in general. I've
okay,
done a lot of like
singles.
singles, mixtapes, and I say it's a difference because like mixtapes I would just put them out. It's no like it's not collective as far as like beginning to end with a full story. This is like I'm pushing this as my debut album because this is like an audio book to my life. This is like a story from beginning to end Whereas like the mixtapes, I just thrown a bunch of songs together that sounded good or just matched well. This is more like an audio book to my life. This has like real meaning, real substance, and it's just giving you like a background on everything that I've been through.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to touch on your treatment of women and your understanding of women, right?
Yes, sir.
Because what it is it was, I heard the first two lines and I just
Yeah.
stopped it right there.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
reason I stopped it right there was
Yeah.
because of what you were saying
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
off the hop. I was like, all right, you know what? If a girl's going to talk to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
she's got to be right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get that your definition of right. It means that her headspace and everything
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It wasn't about looks. It wasn't about
Yeah. Yeah.
just
That song too for me was just more like just kind of just having fun, really. You know what I mean? There was like no real deeper meaning to that one. I just wanted that one like the beat, it's up
yeah,
tempo. You know, it's like I wanted the hook to be the chorus to be catchy. I wanted the verse to be catchy. Like that was more just like more of like an up tempo fun type of song. That did really good and like everybody received it in a good way.
yeah.
But like when I say like there's certain songs or a certain sound that I'm steering away from,
Yeah.
like that would just be that certain sound.
Okay.
Just because like I just want to dive into like what I'm really influenced by, and just like throughout the years what I just been focusing on as far as like my new direction.
Okay,
Yeah.
so outside of Elevate, which other song would you say that you dived in and really catches the essence of who you are right now?
So I had like a 2-song EP called "When the Blackbird Sings," and it basically touches on the blackbird just being a symbolized for black people. And when the blackbird sings, it's just like when the black people have a voice, it's like we tend to get shut down. And so yeah, there's 2 songs on there where I just talk about like police brutality, how hard it is, coming up from a rough place, the hood, the urban area, and how this is just stigma around that, just a stigma around that, but also just knowing that you could head into a better direction. Just know that we need more leaders, we need more black leaders, men and women, and yeah, just even though we've been through so many hardships, and that we can just continue to keep moving forward and pushing black positivity. So
Okay. And when you talk about black positivity, right?
yeah,
Coming from California,
yeah,
states in general, what differences do you see from there to here?
yeah. I definitely just the racial climate is very different. It's more intense back home. Um, I know it's more intense, varies from different states. The South is just the South.
Oh, yeah.
You know how that, like everybody knows how the South is when it comes to different laws and the race thing. But California, like just speaking from being from California, like when I moved down here, it's everywhere, but it's not so in your face like it is back home. But yeah, like I said, it's still everywhere. So I
Yeah.
think that still causes for people to still talk about it and bring awareness to it. Yeah.
Okay. I always tell people that the ghetto in Canada, or in certain parts of Canada, is different from the ghetto
Yeah.
in the States,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you from the
Yeah.
hood?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. So
Tell
I
me.
lived in my earlier years. It was very hard for sure.
Yeah.
I lived in the hood with my mom. You know what I'm saying? We just lived on low income, Section 8. Section 8 housing. So yeah, it was like rough as a child for sure. But as time went on and my mom uh, got herself in a better position, we steered away from that. So um, I was blessed, not to be stuck in that situation to where I had to turn to the streets and make bad decisions. So my early childhood definitely was from the hood. My mom, I live with my mom, single parent. She had
Yeah.
4 kids, so that was just like tough within itself. Like just not even being in the streets, just being in the household, having to deal with that.
Yeah.
That was just like a lot within itself. Yeah.
So then, does London fit you in a certain sense? Because
Yeah.
coming out from that, you got a chance to come out of the hood, right? And so, London on the whole, because London doesn't have that kind of,
Yeah, yeah. Nah, so yeah, it was it wasn't like a bad transition. Like I would say like in middle school, 6th through 8th grade was like I went to more of like a middle class, upper class area. We lived in
right,
a middle class, upper class area. So that was like my first time even seeing something different from when I was little. You know what I'm saying? And it got some getting used to because in the middle class, upper class area, you don't have too many people that look like me. So that was a challenge within itself, and just went through different stuff with that. But moving to London, it wasn't really hard because I had already made that transition many years ago in school and at such a young age. So I mean, I like London because it's laid back. The Bay Area is laid back. I like it because it's a small city, and I don't really like the city life. So the transition and just being used to what London is was fairly easy. Yeah.
how long did it take you before you started to produce music in London?
It took me a minute. Mind you, I moved here October 2018. Didn't know nobody. I moved here by myself, no family. Just came up here to take responsibilities, take care of my child. And then, 2019 came, just still up in the air what I wanted to do. Met a few people, made a few connections, but nothing really solid to where I could push music. And then, just made a few connections here and there. And then, of course, COVID hit in 2020. So then that really shut everything down. But I know that I needed to make a move as far as the music thing. So I went to Fanshawe MIA program, Music Industry Arts
Yeah,
program.
right.
So from 2020 to 2023, I just went there, and that's what really helped me with my connections. And then when COVID lifted and people could start going outside, I just made sure that I contacted the right people, was at the right places at the right time, and seeing how they can help me or how they can lend a hand and me putting my foot in the door with the music. And I met King with the ISO
Yes.
project, and he's a great dude. So he helped me, get on a few shows, and you know, turn me to the right people to meet. Just shaking the right hands and just meeting the right people. So yeah, I would have to say like after the COVID lifted is just like when I started really just going hard.
And I was just going to ask you to name me one person that, influence or is there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you
That
call
was
King. And I got
yeah,
to,
King.
so I want to
Yeah,
say a
yeah,
big shout out to King because King is also involved in the project that I'm with right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and he's been on that for a minute,
Yeah, yeah, he's a
right?
good dude. He's a good dude too. Yeah, he gave me an opportunity like that was big for me. Like I had performed at the London Music Hall and opened up for Conway the Machine.
Okay.
So that was real big. That was kind of like really the start of it. Like that's what put the battery in my back. Was like, it was fresh off of COVID. I haven't done no shows, just dropped music and videos. So it was like that was circulating around the city. But as far as like performance wise, that I wasn't really hitting nothing until King gave me the opportunity. And then once that happened, that's when I was like, all right, who else can I talk to? And it just shows just started going back to back. Yeah.
Okay. What's been your favorite show so far?
My favorite show so far. I'd have to say the London Summer Bash that I put on.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did the second one, London Summer Bash 2, in the summer of this year. We're doing the Summer Bash 3 next year. But London Summer Bash was good. It was my second show that I put on. It's just the energy was a little bit different. It was people were more relatable to me. People caught on to like what I was doing on that second show from the first one, and the energy was just different for sure. Yeah, something about that night was just special.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a nice little following that you have that you've been able to. What makes them follow you? What would make anybody want to follow you?
Yeah, I was honestly just say like I'm just very transparent with my music. Um, my music speaks for itself. I think that's just one thing. Um, I would like to say like I have the image. I look apart, you know, um, and yeah, I follow back as well. Like I'm not like if you look at how many people follow me to how many people I follow back. They're
The
very
number.
close. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'm not like I like to engage with people. I like to make sure that I get reply to every person who, leaves a comment or wants to talk. And I think that's just also one of the main things. Like I just like being transparent and like open communication with everybody who reaches out to me.
Oh man, I want you to repeat that again. So if you
Yeah.
got an aspiring artist coming up, that you can
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
them, yeah,
yeah.
that's
No,
that's
definitely engage with your fans. Like that's like very important. Like you don't want nobody to ever feel like you too good. You know what I'm saying? And I know that that's not the case for me. Like I'm never too good. Like I'm human, just like you. I just happen to have like different opportunity. That's all. But other than that, like yeah, like I like to be just very like honest with people, transparent, and just like to make sure that I engage with everybody.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk soul food.
Yeah, soul food.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, Soul Food. So that's my debut album, dropping November 28th. I picked that date specifically because it's Thanksgiving back home in the States. Soul food is like, that food with substance. It's that food that fills you up. Soul food is like food that's made back home when you bring your family together and you create memories. And it's just a significant title for me. Drop it on Thanksgiving because that's when usually me and my family back home make soul food, other than like Christmas and stuff. So it's like you wait all year around for those specific dishes. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Thanksgiving, just went hand in hand with soul food and just what it meant to me, everything it meant to me, and just it's just a soul food is just like I said, it's food with substance, and that's what my music is. It transitions into what my music is all about. Yeah, just stuff with substance.
Okay. And you
Yeah,
got all these little side projects because of
yeah,
soul food, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
you have your episodes,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So so it's a whole different marketing campaign that you've been on,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When you sat down and said, "Hey, I'm gonna do this album," right?
Mm-hmm.
What were the first things that went through your mind?
Yeah, so the album was honestly 3 years in the making. Um, so it's like just constant, just shuffling around songs and creating songs, taking songs off. So that's like how when it first started. But like through the process recently, I just realized like, content is a big thing. So like throughout the process, I was like, I know I want to push the music. The music will speak for itself, but how can I get more ears and more eyes? And that for me is just like clicked. It was like I need content. Like that's the space we
Yeah,
live in
this is the
nowadays.
space. Yeah,
Like
that is the
it's like
space.
you can have good songs, but if you don't have content, it's like nobody really wants to pay attention. Or you can have bad music, but if you had good content, people are gonna run to the music just because based off your content. So yeah, for me it was just like a content thing. And as far as like the episodes, like I wanted to make something like where people can dive into like the whole process of making the album. So I just kicked off like the 3 episode of the making of Soul Food. 3 episodes in, and then I was like, after Soul Food, I gotta keep creating content. So then that's when I was like, I'm gonna just create the day in
In
the
life.
life.
All right,
So
slow it
then
down for
yeah,
me. I want you to slow this whole process down for
yeah,
me,
yeah,
right? Because you just went through it,
yeah,
but I really need you to get
yeah.
in depth, right?
Right.
So let's go back 3 years ago,
Okay.
right? Because you said that's when you want that's where the starting of the whole
Yeah.
process is,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So how did the process start? Was it like a thought in your mind, hey, I want to do an album?
Yeah. So honestly, yeah, the thing has always been like drop an album. I just always felt like it wasn't the right time. But then as an artist, you always feel like it's never the right time. So it's just like, just drop it. So that was just the process. Then I had my dad on my back, like, we need an album. Like, I even have like a skit from him on Soul Food album where he talks about that because it's just like so real on like when he says that. But yeah, so it's just like I just the thought of like I need to drop an album, and then I actually have an album that was gonna drop before that called 1995, which is the year I was born. But that's just like my baby. So taking a little bit more time on that one.
Okay.
That was supposed to be the first album. But yeah, Soul Food just came about just because it was just another idea, like, and I just thought the title was great at the time. Like, I probably was eating some soul food and just probably
Right,
just
right.
correlated into like my music, and I just thought like, oh, soul food correlating to my life. Soul food is being having substance. You know, you're taking your time with making soul food, and then I just correlate with my music, like just yeah, just substance, taking my time with it, and uh, and just wanted to give it out to the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get further into soul food. I'm actually gonna get into the food aspect of it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
if I get invited over for Thanksgiving
yeah, yeah,
and you say we're gonna have soul food, tell me
yeah.
what makes up
Oh
soul
yeah,
food.
yeah. So homemade mac and cheese, fried chicken, collard greens, black eyed peas, cornbread, um, gumbo, uh, and man, gravy, homemade gravy, mashed potatoes. What else? The list. This is so much. My aunt like chitlins. I don't mess with the chitlins, but my aunt makes back home makes chitlins. It's just a wide range of just food, like just soul food. It's just yeah, collard greens, mashed potatoes, and yeah, just sweet potatoes, uh, and just stuff like that.
Man, I
Yeah,
love the
yeah,
smile
yeah.
on your face when you start going
Yeah,
through
yeah,
that
light up, cause
menu.
yeah, cause
Yeah, I get you.
it's that time of the year where you just like you looking forward to it. Like you don't eat it every day. Like we don't eat it every day, so it's like yes, and then what like the significance of when it happens is just bringing the family together. So that just goes through my mind. It's just like my family being together. That's just what puts a smile on my face for sure. Yeah,
And I hope people realize how I invited myself over to Cameron
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah. I
Thanksgiving.
got you.
I just rolled it in there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So, first track on the album.
yeah.
What's the first?
Yeah, so it's my intro. It's called Self Talk. I got my mom voicemail at the end of it, and it's basically just like the introduction of just like what to expect for the rest of the album. Um, just what I was dealing with mentally. Um, mental health, um, going through therapy, my growth through over the years. At times feeling like maybe this isn't the right thing for me as far as music because I don't feel like something is happening now with the music. But then, just overcoming fears and doubts, just my struggle and my upbringing and just, yeah, it's just basically an open canvas for like, what I will be talking about, just mental health, my upbringing and, family issues and just what I go through as a man every day, just day-to-day battles.
Nowadays, you don't find a lot of artists that want to, especially hip hop artists, right? That want to talk about mental health,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And this is one of the things that differentiates you, right? And I told you that this is one of the reasons why you're on this podcast because your music was also it was grown people's music
Yes, sir.
in today's talk,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You address certain things, right? How important is it for you to address these things and put it out there?
It's very important because I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough, and then not even just from like an aspect of like pushing it out to the world for other people to hear it. I'm in a phase right now where I'm like doing self healing, and so a lot of it's just for myself as well, just like self growth, and just it's therapy within a way for me. So yeah, it's very important. Like I think in order for me to keep creating, I need to be in the right mindset. So with that, it's just like mental health is just something that I'm going to continue to push, and I don't want it to be like the main focus of my music, but I just want people to know that it is important.
No, I
Yeah.
get you. And do you think it helps you get your fans more into you in that sense?
Um, I would hope so. I would
Okay.
hope so. I think I do know that it's music that lasts. You know, it's a subject that will forever be talked about and need to be talked about. So yeah, yeah, it's important.
Right.
Yeah,
Give me another subject that's on the album that you thought
yeah.
was important to talk about.
So other than mental health, uh, man, just family, just how close I am with family. I talked about my loved ones who are no longer here. I talk about substance abuse because that's long history in my family. It's just on both sides. And, I have friends pass away due to drugs. I had, people who, I had a friend who committed suicide, so that talks about mental health. And then I have, a friend who got shot as well. So it's like, I cover those bases of just like, being coming from a certain area. That's just certain things that you have to deal with, unfortunately. And unfortunately, sometimes it's the closest people to you.
Yeah, and I
So,
think you talked about that outside of soul food as well, because I think there's some other music that you have
yeah.
when you talked about, and I think I remember from, I think last year, I think I got you somewhere because I think it was on Facebook somewhere where
Yeah.
I saw something you talk about somebody you'd lost, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you being here and couldn't get, not being able to be
Yeah,
there. I think you
yeah,
talked about that as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So that's stuff also like that I talk about on my album. Just just being so far away from family. I think some of the pain comes from just like not being able to be there. People passing and then not
Yeah.
being able to catch that flight to go back home to, you know, just create memories with the people who are still here and stuff. So yeah, there's definitely that topic is on there as well. I dive into a few of those topics, and shout out a lot of people, who just been in my circle, and um, yeah, just yeah, it's big on that.
Yeah. How's your mom feel about you being here? I know
Yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah,
probably happy about you taking responsibility,
for
but at the
sure.
same time, she's,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
distance.
Moms, yeah, like that's my everything. Like my mom's is everything. Like I've lived with her my whole life, and she's grown as a person and as a mother, a lot. A lot. Like I can say she's grown a lot, and we all have grown to continue to do. But where she's come from when I was a kid, she's grown a lot, and she's sad, of course, that I moved here, but she sees where I'm at headspace wise, uh, the maturity from when I was back home. So I feel like, that's everything a parent could ask for is just like their child just be in a better position and a better mindset than they were in the past. So, even though she misses me, I miss her, and it's not too much miss because I go back home every now and then. She comes up here, and when we could see each other, we see each other, and then we FaceTime all the time, and she FaceTimes my daughter and stuff. So we still always stay connected. Yeah,
How about your dad?
yeah, my pops. Yeah, yeah, my pops, man. My pops is someone who's very special to me too. Someone's always been in my life as well, and you know. I miss him a lot too, but it's the same thing. Like the visits, whenever we want to visit and can make it happen, then we make sure we plan for it, and yeah, we make sure we visit, and that's someone I talk to every day too. I don't think I go a day without talking to my parents.
So who misses you more?
I probably my mom, and it's just I'm her baby, so it's like, it's just a mother's love. Mother's love is different as well, so yeah, probably my mom.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
relate. I got a
yeah.
son, and oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
his he went out somewhere for the first time
Yeah.
this last weekend, and his mom was like, "Oh, my baby, my baby, my
Yeah, of
baby."
course,
So
of
I
course.
gotta
Yeah, yeah,
relate.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other family members,
Yeah, like as far as
siblings?
siblings, yeah. I got two brothers, one younger brother, one older brother. He passed away 2017 to drug overdose. And then I have one younger sister and three older sisters. So on my mom's side, there's four of us, and on my dad's side, there's five of us. I think, yeah. So me and my little brother share same mom, same dad, and then my dad has three other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who you close to?
I'm closest to my little brother. Yeah, my little brother. We're very close in age, only 3 years apart, and yeah, we grew up the same mom, same dad, so we had the same experiences and grew up in the same household, and just yeah, we're just because we're so close, it's like I grew closer to him for sure.
What do you tell him? What do you talk to him about?
Yeah, I just know there was, I just know that he's at a place that I was in when I was his age. So just being confused on what I want to do, what he wants to do in life, and just maybe certain things not feeling like it's working out for him. Just trying to just give him talks like just stay on the right path. Like you're still here, so you got a bright future ahead of you, and just make sure that you make every day count. He's in school right now for EMT. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So before that decision, he really didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. And, I just always make sure I talk to him and reach out to him and let him know, our older brother, we don't have him no more. So, as his older brother, I just want to step up and make sure that, because we lost a brother, that, that he stays on the right path. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't head down the path our older brother went down, and definitely doesn't head down the path that I had went down once. And just learn from my mistakes, and just making sure that I reach out to him, making sure that um, that he stays in line. Yeah,
Okay. How old's your daughter?
yeah. My daughter's 5. Yeah,
What's her
5 years old.
name? What's her
Lyric.
name? Lyric?
Yeah, lyric. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
How having a kid has made you change?
Yeah, it's changed me for the better, and it's changed me a lot because when I realized that everything that I do affects her, and everything I do is for her. So every decision that I make, is gonna affect her. So it's like my everyday being is for her. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the person she looks up to. I'm the protector. You know what I'm saying? I'm the teacher, and I'm her guide. I'm her everything as well as her mom. But yeah, just as like for her, she just made me just a better man. She made me mature fast, and I just know that like life was just like if I was playing around with life when she came, it was like nah, there's no playing.
There's no
It's like
plan. Yeah, I
yeah,
get you.
like straighten up, because she's gonna get older and she's gonna see, and I just want to make sure that I'm a great example for her.
Okay. Any songs on the album for her?
Not this one, but that first album I was talking about, 1995. I have a song dedicated for her that I'm working on currently, and I also have her. I also have like her doing some little audio stuff,
Oh,
a little
nice.
skit on it too as well. So next year when I drop that one, should
Next year we're gonna get to
yeah, next year,
next year.
next
Okay.
year, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So we got a day in the life. Take me through a day in the life of Cameron James.
Yeah. So right now, a day in the life for me is just wake up, get ready for school, get my daughter ready for school, get the household ready, breakfast, and send my daughter on her way. And then for me, it's just straight to school, working on school assignments, going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. So then after school is gym, and then for my downtime, my free time while my daughter, isn't at the house yet and she's still at school, I just take that time to just like either focus on my music, focus on my studies, or my therapy session with my therapist. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like for me, and just trying to just plan things accordingly, just like throughout the week, just plan things on what needs to be done, and just making sure the household is straight. And yeah, nothing really too crazy for me. But it's just because it's just everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Just waking up, getting the household ready, going to the gym, and working on music, creating content, and until like the bigger stuff comes and I'm on tour and getting booked for shows and in the studio and stuff more consistently, then then I can give you more of an excitement for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
How many people in your circle?
For me, like it's only a handful. Like there's some dudes out there. It's a group called For the Tribe.
Yeah.
Rap group. It's probably like 7 or 8 of them. Them like my boys. They're a little bit younger than me, but them like they really come through as far as like the shows and just supporting. So like that's probably like some of my core people. For the Tribe, like Kodo, Cairo, Insight, Donut. It's a lot of them, to be honest.
Are
But
you a mentor?
I don't want to
Friend,
say that.
mentor,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Just like I think I could consider like the older homie. Like I could kind of see like if they would like to say that they look up to certain things for me, and like maybe I give them certain advice because I've been there at their age. Like, I would like to, I wouldn't say mentor, but I feel like maybe an influence or something like that. But as far as that, man, it's just, as far as core, it's just me and my daughter and my wife, man. Like, that's just, I'm in the house. I don't go out. Like, what I'm saying? I go out every now and then if it's just to support somebody because they're doing an event. But as far as like partying, I never, like, I did all that when I was younger. And so it's like, right now it's just family. Like, if you ask who my core is, it's like my family, my daughter. Yeah.
And you say younger like you old, man.
Now, I'll be 30 next year. And I know that's not old, but it's a big difference from 29 to when I was 23.
Yeah, definitely.
Or when I was 19. It's just like
Oh, most.
I for one, I didn't even think I'd make it this far, just due to certain circumstances, just with like dealing with like opioids addiction and just like where I come from and just getting into certain things. Like, I had veered away from that. I had stepped away from that and like grew from that, right? So it's like when I say like, when I was younger, it's just a mindset thing too, right? Like I could be 30 now and still think like I was when I was 19. So that's what I really say when I was younger or like when I grew up.
Nah, and it's fair for you to say that because there's a certain amount of maturity that you have based on the things that you've come through, right? And like I said, just you being here in Canada,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
is a testament to the maturity, right?
for
Because
sure, for sure.
you know what? I don't know how many people would be in your position and actually say, hey, I got a kid in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm going to go relocate, right? Change my surroundings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And come because it's a whole different hustle, right? It's unless you have a lot of financial resources, then
yeah.
whenever you go to is it's
Right,
like I said, it's a whole change in life,
for
right?
sure, for sure.
Outside of that, any other big changes that you think you've made, and not only you've made, but you've made just because you're in Canada.
Yeah, I could definitely see the difference in music, like as far as the fan base and just how much people are gravitating towards me now, more than they did in the past, even from being back home. Maybe it's just because I'm where you're from. Usually, it's people don't like to see you win, just because it's like a crab in a bucket thing. But I just noticed like from here, just because I'm not from here, it's more of an interest. You know what I'm saying? Like one, people before they even know who I am, the music stands out.
Yeah.
It's way different from the sound that's here. And then two, once they do know where I'm from, it's like it's exciting to be like,
Yeah,
oh,
there's a
it's someone. Yeah,
curiosity.
there's a
Yeah,
curiosity. Like, oh, well, why'd you move here? And like, you want to kind of get to know more about the person who's not from your area. Um, so yeah, like just like outside of just like self growth and stuff like that, all the personal stuff, just I could just definitely see the difference in the music and how people just gravitate towards me in that aspect. So, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah.
and you talk about the crab in a bucket mentality from being, and I guess that's not. I guess we know that's everywhere,
For
right?
sure. For sure.
You being a different entity, it allows you to escape a little bit of that in London, Ontario.
Yeah. Facts.
Is there is there anything that you say is negative about the music scene here in London, Ontario?
Um, I could definitely say it's all. I could see the crabs in the bucket thing here too a little bit. But as far as like me, I don't really see it an affecting me, because like I'm at a space where like I know what's gonna work for me, and then whatever I feel like isn't gonna work out for me, like I find a way to make it work. But like I could just see there's a lot of definitely people who um, maybe try to gatekeep certain things or like gatekeep certain shows or like don't want to put you on as different opportunities, put you on for different opportunities, which is cool. Like that's fine. But like I said, for me, it doesn't affect me because like when people didn't put me on shows, um, I went and just created a lane for myself to just do my own shows. When people didn't want to pay me for a show, it was like, all right, cool. Let me call a couple places, set up some events, sell some tickets, and now I'm making my own money and I'm making my own profit. I'm calling people to see if they want to sponsor a show, and the show is paying for itself with sponsors. And then not only that, I'm giving people who didn't want to give me an opportunity, I'm giving them an opportunity. And so it's like I kind of pretty much got the upper hand in that way. And then also being the bigger person. Like there's people I could say like who didn't probably want to give me a chance, that I gave them a chance. and so that made me feel better.
So where you gonna take this?
Um, like
The whole thing.
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Give me the future projections.
yeah, yeah. So like, I'm 4 shows in. As far as the shows, like I'm 4 shows in, putting them on by myself and putting artists on collectively onto my shows. I'm gonna continue to do that because I want people, coming up in the rap scene to feel heard. I want to give them an opportunity, um, and I want to let them see how it is to grind it out. So the show thing, putting on the shows is going to be a thing that I continue to do. Content, continue to do these day in the life vlogs.
Yeah.
Um, you know, give people like introduce people to me on a more personal level outside of the music. Um, and then just continue to work on myself mentally. You know what I'm saying? Just I know that if I put myself in a better space, put myself in a better headspace, and surround myself with positivity, love, and like-minded people, that the blessings would just keep on coming through.
I know when I brought up the mentor aspect to you and the younger guys, right? You were like, well, maybe I'm not so much of a mentor, but I'm gonna put you in a mentor state of mind, right? So, let's say my son wants to be an artist, right? Give me 5 things you would tell him.
Yeah. Well, one, I'd ask him to rap for me, so I
Yeah.
can hear where he's at as far as like where is he starting from.
Okay.
And then I would just block out all the outside noise of what you can't do. Don't let that energy affect you. Don't let the don'ts and the can'ts and the negative energy affect you. Just stay on a positive mindset. And also another great thing will probably just be just work at it, keep practicing, go in the mirror and rap. um, keep working on your craft, keep experimenting with different sounds till you find a sound that you love. um, it's like with anything that you play basketball, you do this, like the only way you're going to get better is if you keep going at it, keep working at it. um, and then another thing, surround yourself with like-minded people. You are who you hang around. So it's like you hang around certain people who aren't making the best decisions, you eventually are not going to make the best decisions either, or you're going to get caught up with those people. And so it's just like surround yourself with people who are like-minded, goal-driven, and focused, positive, and people who want to push you forward. Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty impressive list of things that you have for people. Um, the ability to block out the noise, right? You said that you have to block out the noise. How important is that?
Yeah, that's very important. It's hard, right? It's hard, but it's important, and it's a constant reminder to yourself. Just like if you're already going through something, why put yourself through more? Listening to other people who don't serve you or don't have a greater purpose for you. So yeah, I just think it's just very important, and it's a constant battle every day. But just like anything that you keep working on, it gets easier throughout time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the second thing is that ability to get your circle, right, and just exclude who you have to exclude to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Nowadays, well, I wouldn't even say nowadays. It's always been like that, where you think you might have to, especially if you're, let's say, you're a shy kid or a quiet person or whatever, that you think you have to be part of something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes that might lead you into ways and places
Yeah.
where you're not supposed to,
For
right?
sure. For sure.
Did it help that you actually left California to come here so that, in terms of creating a new circle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like it just helped in general, just because like I got away from a lot of the stuff, a lot of the bad influences back home, uh, and so that was just one major thing, major difference from moving here. And then yeah, that was just like the main thing. It's just like moving to Canada, getting my head ready, getting my head in a better place, I should say, and just opening a new chapter for me. Yeah.
Okay. When do you finish school?
Yeah, I finished school in April. In
Okay.
April, yeah, next year.
So
Yeah.
MIA program?
Nah, so I
No.
finished the MIA
Yeah, yeah.
program. I'm in audio post production now.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything that they're doing back there is just is what
Is what
I be
you do.
doing. Yeah,
Fanshawe again?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Fanshawe
man.
again.
Fanshaw's got a great
Yeah,
program,
great
right?
program. Yeah, yeah.
You always gonna are you gonna apply that to anything else or just the stuff that's within what you're
Yeah.
doing?
So other than music, like I want to go, I want to be like I want to be a man of many talents. Like I don't just want to limit myself. I know that I am also getting older. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like to me personally, hip hop and rap is like a certain age. You know what I'm saying, that you
Hold
hit.
on. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, unless you were OG and you already been in the game and like but like I just know that for me, like like I said, in my opinion, like there's just like there's a cap on the age for the music, and I just want to make sure that I have different options. I don't want to limit myself. So taking on the audio post production of just like commercials, working on movies, working on set, is just something that another route that I want to take, but it also correlates with the music.
And I'm gonna just come back at you for a minute
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's now adult contemporary rap,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's where the former, the OGs are in now. So
yeah,
there's
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that Nas put out a few years back, and there is.
Yeah, but
So,
there's only select few though that could do that as well. That's what I'm saying too. Like, and then think about how long Nas has been in the game. So
yes.
it's like a Nas coming in the game now wouldn't
Nah,
be the same
no, it won't
as
be the same. But I'm
right.
saying there's now. Well, it took a while because hip hop is only 50 years old,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
still young. It's
it's
the
still
youngest,
young,
yeah,
right?
youngest genre.
So now you find that generation that started it can move into the adult contemporary phase because they've got that, and so I don't see a reason why this generation, you're 95
Yeah,
kid,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So in another, 10, 15 years,
yeah,
you'll be the contemporary rap.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
contemporary hip hop
Right,
artist,
right, right,
right?
right.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it,
Like I said, like it's nothing against older the OGs in the game, and like that's where like I got my game from. But
yeah.
like I said, it's just leaving options open.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Oh man, this I got my people waving at me, and when they start
Yeah,
waving
yeah.
at me, it means
Yeah, time
that
to wrap it up. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
time
yeah.
to
It's all
wrap.
good.
It's time to wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
Do the plug, man. Talk to us about that soul food stuff right
Yeah,
now. Go
yeah. So
through.
Soul Food dropping November 28th on all DSPs. I will have 100 limited hard copies coming soon. And
We get
yeah.
one. We get one. Let me
Yeah, yeah,
interrupt you
yeah.
right there. We get one. Just tell
Okay,
us what it
for
is.
sure.
Right?
Yeah, so I'll
Yes.
let you know. But yeah, November 28th, man, Soul Food, my debut album dropping. I got a short film coming with it, dropping hopefully on Christmas, and give you more of like, the Soul Food album is audio, and the short film is more like a visual of what the album be about. So excited for the short film. My boy Stephen Sago shot that. We mixing it up right now. And then, yeah, just expect a lot of more shows coming next year. A lot more projects, a lot more videos, and just continue to, just stay focused and getting my mental right. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Oh
having me.
man, this is everything I thought it would be.
Yeah, yeah.
Success,
Yes,
right?
appreciate you.
We gonna bring you back, right?
Yeah,
Because as you
definitely.
continue on the journey, obviously I'm gonna say obviously we are gonna bring you back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yes,
So
sir.
once again, thank you for being on Real
Yes.
Talk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's
Thank you for
been
having
it's
me.
been good. It's
For sure.
been good. And so we'll catch you on the next episode.
Yes, sir.